Hello friends and family.
Hello!
It's a nice Thursday afternoon. We've been here off and on a few times during the week. We're having to balance it with taking care of stuff at home, and I'm still working remotely during this stuff, so I'm having to get stuff done and balance that with coming out here. And we're trying to be productive in both places. So just now on the way out here we went to the supply store and I got a bunch of 8-foot 2x4s because those get used all the time for this stuff, and we're going to finish some bracing that we were working on with Gare before he left. We're going to finish some more of that. We did a little bit of it yesterday and quickly ran out of 2x4s. I bought some 10-foot 2x4s, 4 of them, because when I was talking with Gare about scaffolding and ladders and our different options for when we're putting up the yurt, he mentioned a thing they often do is just build scaffolding out of 2x4s specifically for what they need. So I bought 4 10-foot 2x4s because I need 10-foot scaffolding according to Pacific Yurts, and then we can just brace it up with 8-foot 2x4s in different spots and call it good. So I've got that. And I got more 1x2 material so that we can finish the cleats that are going to hold insulation. So we've got the stuff so that we can keep doing where we left off with Gare. The way I'm thinking of it is, we did 3 good work days with Gare, but day 3 was cut short, and basically we can finish day 3. Like at the pace we were working, if we worked a full day 3 with Gare, it'll take us, you know, a few weeks of just a bit at a time to finish that ourselves, and that's fine. But we've been doing other stuff like clearing the pond brush. We worked on burning that pile of stumps over there, and we burned it a little bit but not much, so we'll work on that again sometime in the next week or two. And what else? Did we have anything else planned for today? Work on bracing.
Specific.
Well, we can start doing the perimeter fascia, the perimeter blocking. It's basically 2x6s that connect to those 4x6 beams, so that where the floor sits and there's gaps between 4x6 beams, it sits on those 2x6 perimeter boards. So we'll see what we can get to, and we'll see what the kids get up to. Yeah. It's tough. This place isn't completely safe for the kids to just run off because of the pond and the stream and stuff, so it's hard to balance Tina helping me with the kids just running off. We would love for them to be able to just run off and play, but they can't, especially with James being a 4-year-old. That's too young to just run off unattended, so it's tough to be efficient.
And I struggle with, there's 20 different projects to do, and which one do we stay focused on? I'm bad at ping-pong.
So we need to be better at, like, all right, for the next hour or two, this is what we're doing, and don't go squirrel and run off and do that other thing. For Tina, that's
the story of my life.
Spraying poison oak is her favorite thing. But we definitely want to get rid of the poison oak. You want to hold the camera? I got poison oak during the brush clearing or something a week ago, and it's just still doesn't want to go away. I kind of got it on my forearms, my side right here. So it's hard to see it. It blends in, and we're still early spring, so it's just starting to show itself with leaves so that we can identify it. All right, well, James figured out what he's gonna do. He's gonna hit boards with a croquet mallet.
Whack himself in the head.
I was afraid that they would ping pong back, but that rubber kind of dampens it.
Yeah, that's a good mallet for him.
All right.
All right.
Let's do something. Exactly where
yeah, it's at where that metal starts.
Alright, so we mark up our 2x4s just by holding them in their position and marking them, and then we'll go cut them now that we've marked them. And I got this hat because my mom and dad made fun of the cowboy hat that I wore during the yurt video, so sorry for letting you down, Mom and Dad. That cowboy hat, we found it in the junker house for free, so we thought it would be green to reuse that hat, but we bought this hat at Costco. That helps hold this whole row of footers in place. All right, we finished the bracing, and I've got out the long level, and I'm just spot checking. Everything should be level, you know, the beams themselves in that direction should be level, and I should be able to put the level across beams and they should be level too. So this one is looking pretty good. Pretty good, definitely within tolerance, so feeling good about that. And this thing's pretty much ready for tongue and groove floor, except we need to do that perimeter fascia, which would be 2x6s that hit here and go across to there. So maybe we'll give that a shot right now. Okay, so we measured out that this is the exact center point of the entire yurt platform.
Is that gonna be the toilet?
No, bud, this is the center. Okay, so how did we do that? Well, the whole time we worked to a center line across this way. So I put this 1x2, I adjusted its position so it's exactly centered on the center line. And then I'm standing in between these two beams. These run parallel to each other and are the same length, and exactly in the center of them is dead center of the yurt in this direction. So we got this centered this way, and then I measured to the exact center of it, and here is our center point. And that's important because at the end of the yurt platform build, when we've got our tongue and groove floor sitting on top of this, you have to cut it to a perfect circle of 30-foot diameter or 15-foot radius. And so I want to spot check that right now by using this and then 15 feet of line to check a circle around here. Because depending on how well we did at the ends of some of these beams, if the corner is a bit past that 15-foot radius, then we might have to trim that off. And especially if I'm going to put that perimeter fascia from board to board, I don't want to install that perimeter fascia past that 15-foot radius mark, because then I would have to come back and take it out anyway. So now is a good time to check how we did for that 15-foot radius. So I'm gonna try to use this nylon rope, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so we measured our 15-foot string mark and just used a little piece of duct tape to mark that. And what I'm able to do is go around and spot check corners, and it looks like our corners are a little under the 15-foot mark. So what would be the problem is if the 15-foot mark was, say, right here, that would mean the edge of our yurt would need to be right here, and fabric would need to tuck under it, and all this would be in the way. But if this is the 15-foot mark, then we're looking pretty good. Yeah. What do you think, sweetheart?
Yeah, there's about ½ an inch extra.
So then that means we're clear if we want to start putting in 2x6s that connect right here and right there. We're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
The big question is, what kind of, are we just gonna screw or nail them straight on there, or should we go by Simpson ties? Those are these metal things that hold the two boards together stronger. I'm not sure if for a yurt, if Simpson tie kind of stuff is overkill or what.
Question for Gare?
Yeah, maybe I'll send him a text, see what he thinks.
Alright.
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
Phone an expert.
We're not going to do 50-50 on this one.
50-50. Ask the audience. Yeah, well, the way YouTube works
Here's our audience.
The way YouTube works is you do the work and then ask the audience after, and in the YouTube comments they tell you how much you suck.
Oh, YouTube world.
Alright, we decided on a game plan. I've got this staged the way I think I'm supposed to do it, and I've marked here and here with a pen to go do the cut with the miter saw. And then I'm going to do one. I'm going to screw it in place, then I'm going to text a picture of it to Gare for a thumbs up, thumbs middle, or thumbs down. Instead of doing all of it wrong, I'll do one of them and find out what he thinks. Tiny bit short. I'm going to get through a lot of this. Alright, time to send a picture to the boss. Alright, we got the message off to Gare, and then we're brainstorming what else to do. Tina sees a widowmaker in that tree, and she's having flashbacks of when I almost brained myself.
About here?
Near here. So we're gonna go figure that out. The crude thing I like to do to handle widowmakers is take something heavy, like, I don't know, scrap 4x6, and throw it at the widowmaker, miss a few times, but then hit it and knock it down. So that's gonna be my first try. Otherwise we have a ladder. Maybe I could climb up there, but I like the throwing technique because I can stand away from it and chuck stuff at it. So let's see if we can make that work.
You're gonna try and throw this?
Yeah. It's hanging right above me. It's straddling this branch. That's how I got that.
No, it's not bad, but don't want that on someone's car.
Alright, what's the right way to throw this hunk of wood? Alright, number one is don't have this land on my head. Alright. Well, I hit it. Oh, now that I look at it, it's hooked. It's got a little side branch that's hooked on.
Is this part of it?
Yeah, it's got a big side branch that's hooked on it. So we might want to just get the ladder and pull it down. Can you go grab the ladder? I'll throw this around like a dummy for a while longer.
Don't throw it in.
Totally worked.
Heads under?
Oh, yep.
Remember where you
James, go over there by Arya, buddy.
It might fall down, so just stand back. Go back by Arya. Go back and back and back. Keep going.
Now, if I just climb down. Hold on. cross branches are hooked on each other.
Wow! You did!
There you go.
Mommy, I'm smiling, but I'm frowning.
Great success.
Yay, the burn pile!
Is that it? Is that the Widowmaker?
All right, we just heard back from Gare, and he gave approval for the way we did that perimeter. So that's good. He had some advice to maybe cut a little long, and then you can always take a little more off. Where I left a little bit extra here. If I cut it longer, and then if it's too long, trim a little bit off, but try to cut it longer and avoid that situation. So that's great. So we've basically got a game plan of we're going around finishing nails in these brackets, and what was it? A couple days ago, we used the digging bar and we were tamping down the soil around all of the footers. Well, we didn't do all of them. We did the whole outer perimeter, and that's another thing we need to finish. So that's great. That gives us stuff to do over the next few days when we can sneak out here for a few hours, is finish tamping down footers. We'll finish nailing right now. I think maybe that's the last thing we'll do and then go home.
Okay.
And then the next time we come back, whether that's tomorrow or in a few days, we can do more perimeter fascia, perimeter blocking. Cool. Well, we have a path forward. What do you think, sweetheart?
I think that sounds good. Plenty to do.
Is it too late to back down? Should we still live in a yurt? Was this all a mistake? Nah. I can't wait to live in a yurt. Oh, spring is so beautiful here. Spring is unreal. And every time we leave, I just feel like, man, I wish we just lived here. So that, because we'll work really hard. Like, we were tamping the soil, and my goodness, is that some work. Digging bar over and over, and Tina's digging soil and bringing it to me to add soil to tamp it down, and we were just beat. So we go home and rest a little bit, but then you kind of get a second wind, and we could have worked more, but we're already home, where it'll be so nice where we're doing projects here, and work your butt off for a few hours, take a break, and then go out and work again. And the seasons are already so long. The kids go to bed between 7:30 and 8, and the sun is still out, and we could go out and do a little bit more. But I can't wait till we live out here. The big choice we have to make is we need to decide when to give notice on our rental. And yeah, it all comes down to how much do we want to rough it out here. We're tentatively thinking if we've got a yurt, even with no plumbing or anything inside the yurt, if we have the yurt itself, and then we've got running water and power out here, we can rough it with just, put beds and stuff inside the yurt, and then basically camping outside. So we'll see what that looks like. We'll bring you along.
Like the diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. What's in this book?